If you think you're unlucky, you might be quitting at the exact moment things were about to work. For a month, I was stuck at 28 subscribers. Most of my videos barely crossed 50 views, and some didn't even reach 10 for hours. Every upload felt the same. You post something, wait, refresh the page, and nothing happens. And that feeling exists everywhere. In business, sports, art, academics. There's always a phase where effort feels disconnected from results. That's the phase that messes with people, because nothing looks bad enough to quit, but nothing looks good enough to trust either. So after a while, you start believing maybe some people are just naturally luckier than others. But 3 months later, that same channel crossed 5,000 subscribers. And that creates a strange question. If luck is random, why does it start appearing only after a certain amount of time and repetition? Because once I understood what was actually happening underneath all of this, everything stopped feeling random. In this video, I'm going to break that whole system down through 4 levels.
Shout out CR7.
Level 1. Perception. Why you feel unlucky before anything actually changes. Level 1 is where most people lose because they misunderstand what is happening early on. There is an idea in statistics called statistical variance. Even when a system is working, the results will not look consistent. The same effort can produce completely different outcomes. You can see this everywhere. An athlete can train perfectly and still perform badly one day. A business can make the right decisions and still have unstable months in the beginning. The system stays the same. The outcomes don't. But your brain reacts immediately. Something worked, something failed, something needs to change. Even though there is no real pattern yet, what you are seeing is signal mixed with noise. And that is where it starts feeling like bad luck. But there is another layer. There is a concept called survivorship bias. You only see visible success, while everything that failed stays invisible. So now your results feel unstable. While
That is very true, bro. Like most times when I'm streaming and just making YouTube videos, I remember last year I was posting every day for like a month, and I wasn't seeing results. It gets very discouraging, chat. It gets very discouraging because it comes to a point where you're like, man, I'm posting so many videos and I'm not seeing anything. Should I keep going or what? Like, you know what
everyone
I mean?
else looks consistent, and that comparison changes your behavior.
So that's what really like makes the great creators, right? Because sometimes when people go through that little time period, like they either quit or keep going. You know what I mean, chat?
You switch too fast. You doubt yourself. You leave before anything has time to reveal itself. So the real problem is not luck. It is misreading the system. Because before something starts working, it usually looks like nothing is working. That phase is mostly noise, uncertainty, and delayed feedback. And the real difference is not talent. It is how long someone can continue without clear validation. That is exactly what my phase looked like. 28 subscribers, then 100. Videos barely crossing 100 views. From my perspective, it felt inconsistent. In reality, it was completely normal. So, if early results are too noisy to trust, how does anyone ever figure out what actually works? That is exactly what Level 2 is about. Level 2. Increase your surface area for luck. Why luck doesn't happen once. You run into it when you stay in motion. Level 1 explains why early results feel misleading. Level 2 explains why repetition changes the system itself. There is a principle in probability called the law of large numbers. When observations are small,
What?
outcomes look random. As exposure increases, patterns that were invisible start becoming obvious. That's why beginners misread almost everything. A musician writes 3 songs and thinks they are untalented. A founder launches one product and assumes the idea failed. Someone goes to the gym for 2 weeks, sees no visible change, and loses belief in the process. Not because the system is broken, because nothing has repeated long enough yet. Most people keep interrupting the process before reality has time to reveal itself. They try something, panic, reset, and start over.
Man, chat, that is very true. There's one thing I realized, like, just with anything, it takes time, bro. Everything just takes so much time. Like, you really just have to be patient with just everything. Like, everything just takes so much time, and with the world we live in, with everything being fast-paced, with the internet, just like, not just DoorDash, but like everything's just so instant nowadays. Like, you get everything like that, so it's like people don't appreciate time and just having patience for things anymore.
Over somewhere else, so nothing compounds. And this is where repetition starts doing something deeper. Some systems don't just survive pressure, they evolve through it. There is a concept called anti-fragility, where mistakes, volatility, and failure become part of the improvement process itself. But that only happens if you stay in motion long enough to adapt, because every failed attempt carries information forward. That is the shift most people never reach. At first, repetition feels pointless. Then slowly, patterns begin connecting. Your judgment improves. Your instincts sharpen. You stop reacting emotionally to every outcome. And eventually, what once felt random starts feeling predictable. That is exactly what changed for me. Earlier, every video felt isolated. Different topics, different directions, nothing connected. Later, I stayed in one lane and kept refining the same core ideas. Philosophy, storytelling, psychology, structure. Now each upload was carrying lessons from the previous one.
Chat, if y'all like videos like these, let me know. If y'all like more calm videos like these, because I know I make a lot of videos, or I react to a lot of videos about streamers and just a lot of negative stuff in the world, to be honest. And we sometimes need to have like videos like these where it's just calm, you know what I mean? Talk about psychological stuff. I say psychologically, but psychological stuff, or you know what I mean? Just some chill videos like these, chat.
So when something finally worked,
Comment down below.
It didn't feel accidental. It felt earned. If repetition increases your chances, why do some efforts still go nowhere? And that is exactly where level 3 comes in. Level 3. Structure your bets properly. Why doing more isn't enough. Your attempts need the right shape. Level 2 explains why repetition matters. Level 3 explains why some repetitions change everything, while others change nothing. There is an idea in mathematics called power law distribution. In many systems, a very small number of outcomes create most of the results. One business dominates an industry. One investment outperforms the rest. One video reaches more people than your previous 50 combined. That is how many real systems behave, which means consistency alone is not enough. You can repeat the wrong type of effort forever and still stay stuck. There is another concept called asymmetric payoff. Some actions have small downside but massive upside. A startup can fail quietly or become $1 billion company. A single piece of content can disappear in a day or change someone's entire career. The risk stays limited. The upside doesn't. That changes the question completely. You stop asking, will this work? And start asking, what happens if it does? Can it spread? Can it scale? Can it move beyond you? That is exactly what changed for me. Earlier, most of my ideas were small in potential. Later, I started combining philosophy, storytelling, psychology, and structure in a way that could travel further emotionally. So when one video connected, it didn't grow slightly. It exploded. 120,000 views in 6 days. From the outside, that looks sudden, but in reality it was the first time I built something designed to scale. But even something built to scale still needs a moment where the system finally catches it. That's the idea behind Level 4. Level 4. Position for explosion. Why luck looks sudden when it has actually been building for a long time. Level 3 explains how to create something with upside. Level 4 explains why the results suddenly accelerate. In complex systems theory, there are nonlinear systems, where output is not proportional to input. Progress builds quietly, then appears all at once. You see this everywhere. A company stays unnoticed for years, then suddenly dominates a market. An athlete trains in obscurity, then suddenly looks unstoppable. The visible moment arrives late. I saw this directly. For a long time, I was gaining maybe 10 to 20 subscribers a day. Then, suddenly, it became 1,000 to 2,000 a day. The effort barely changed.
Damn, 1,000, 2,000 a day?
What changed was that the system crossed a threshold, and once that happens, network effects begin taking over. Growth stops depending only on you. Other people start spreading the system for you. What looks popular gets trusted more. What gets trusted gets clicked. What gets clicked spreads further. Then feedback loops start reinforcing everything. More reach creates more engagement. More engagement creates even more reach. At the same time, the system itself improves. I was studying retention, CTR, comments, and feeding those lessons into the next video. So now, growth and improvement were accelerating together. That is the part people never see. They only notice the spike, not the months of invisible buildup underneath it. But step back, and the pattern becomes clear. First, you stop misreading randomness, then you stay long enough for patterns to appear. Then you build things capable of scaling, and eventually everything aligns at the same time. That moment gets labeled as luck, but luck is usually just invisible momentum becoming visible all at once. It is something you grow into.
W video chat, W video, man. I'm gonna subscribe to this page. W video.